The first reading today is from the last book of the Bible, the book of Revelation. And it talks about the second coming of Christ, the judgment of all the nations, and the creation of a new heaven and a new earth. Heaven and earth, as we know it, will pass away. There is confusion among many people, I think, in regard to heaven. When we think about the second coming of Christ, many people believe that earth will change, that things will not be the same after the second coming of Christ. I think people hold that widely. But many people do not understand that heaven itself will change its way. There will be a new heaven and a new earth. May I read that to you? The former heaven and the former earth had passed away, and I saw a new heaven and a new earth. In the Bible, in the Old Testament and in the New, it repeatedly speaks about the coming of a new heaven and a new earth. A new heaven and a new earth. I will share with you my interpretation of what that means. Originally, when God created Adam and Eve and the world, you all are familiar with the creation story, and there was peace between Adam and Eve, between Adam and Eve and animals, between Adam and Eve and nature, and between Adam and Eve and God. It was total peace between all of God's creation, all of God's creation. That was the way it was originally intended, was the way it was originally planned. And what disrupted that was the devil coming into the Garden of Eden and tempting Adam and Eve, and they yielded to the temptation, and as a result of that sin, human race fell. The human race fell from grace. The human race separated itself from the will of God. And as a result, the original plan of God was disturbed. It was not supposed to be that way. Human beings were not supposed to die. Originally, that was the plan of God. Death only came into the world. Pain, sin, misery, all those things only came into the world as a result of Adam and Eve yielding to the sin, yielding to the temptation of the devil, and separating themselves from the will of God. And as a result of that, what happened is the sin just proliferated throughout the centuries, So my perception, my belief is that when God comes again, the new earth will be the way it was. That was his intent. Where God and people and animals and nature will all be at peace with each other. That's my belief about that. Next, you're saying, what about heaven? My question to you is in the beginning, when you had Adam and Eve and the animals and earth, was there a separation between heaven and earth, or was it all the same? When he comes again, the way it was originally, in my opinion, is the way it's going to be again. And what will happen is there will be this union between heaven, the people in heaven, the people on earth, the people in heaven and the people on earth, and it will just be one. There won't be any separation. There won't be any separation from heaven and earth. It will just be the way it was originally, because after Christ comes again, we say this all the time, and thy kingdom come and thy will be done. There will be one kingdom and one will. You pray for this all the time. One kingdom and one will. And that's the way it will be. But that's just my interpretation of that. But it says this. Then I saw a new heaven and a new earth. The former heaven and the former earth had passed away. So this is the teaching of the church. You can go through the Bible. It's in here multiple times. That earth as we know it will pass away, and heaven as we know it will pass away. And this will occur when the Christ comes a second time, and his kingdom is established.